What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Don't Forget About Me, the Supernova version, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about the promo cards, because one thing that I wanted to check on is how many potential promo cards can there be if the entire pre-sale sells out. So if DEC is spent efficiently, and what I mean by that is, somebody comes in and buys, like if one person were to buy everything, for example, or people were to buy in chunks of 400,000 DEC in order to get, the 10 BCX of 10 BCX of the rare and 1 BCX of the legendary card. If we were to do that, that would is what I mean by efficiency. So if we were to do that, 4.4 billion DEC worth of demand, there's no group like buys, there's no bulk discounts. That's really what I wanted to say. The math is relatively simple, and I'm going to do it again off screen, so somebody please check me, but I did it previously, but we take this 4.4 billion DEC, right? There we go, 4.4 billion DEC divided by 400,000. So that's for the rare, or for the legendary, which gives us 11,000 BCX. Divide that by 11, and you get 1,000 max copies. Now, the rare is slightly less than that, because you would do the same thing and essentially get 110,000 copies, but you'd be dividing it by 115 BCX in order to max it out. So it'd be like 900 and something. So that's, that's not very many max copies of a card, right? We're talking about 1,000 maxed copies. Now, for context, let's actually go to Splinter Cards here and look at some of the other promo cards, both from the pre-sales of previous sets, as well as the promo cards that were sold recently with the Hall of Legends promo. So if we just do promo here, let's actually start with the most recent kind of apples to apples example, which would be, let's do legendary first. Where's my guy here? Okay, you know what? I guess that's not going to work, so we'll just look at all of them. I'm looking for... Well, there's Dr. Blight. Well, here, you know what? Since we're already down here, and we have... Oh, man, how come they're not here? Am I blind? Hold on, let me see here. Mantaroth is who I want. Okay, wait, what? That's not Mantaroth. Mantaroth. Okay, now you can see here, there was only 5,000 or 5,400 BCX for Mantaroth that's printed. Currently, there's, at least in terms of regular BCX, right, there's 1,200 cards out there. But keep in mind, that's because not all of them are maxed, including, like, I have one that's only like 3 BCX. But Mantaroth was actually less in terms of its overall print rate than what the potential Grammel the Hunger could be. And I believe it's going to be the same for Grimbardoon Smith. Let's just search for all of these. So Grimbardoon Smith, 48,885 BCX printed in total, right? That includes gold foil. And we were just talking about 110,000. So Conclave Aracana actually could have way more of these promo cards minted or printed. Now, the other thing that we can check, like I said, and let's do Dr. Blight just for, where is he? Dr. Blight. So you can see there was 21,000 of Dr. Blight printed. So we're going to be somewhere between Mantaroth and Dr. Blight. And then we also had, I know it was a mini set, but Oshur, I think, was something similar. Okay, so actually, Oshur is probably the best example, because Oshur, we have 11,214 total BCX that was minted. This is another legendary, so just comparing legendary to legendary. Now, when we go to the Hall of Legends, and let's just look at the legendary cards here, right? We can see there was Delia, there's only 1,300 BCX printed. Rick Launeman, only 1,300 BCX printed. Eleanor Braefoot, 1,500. Fizbo the Fabulous, 1,500. So Grammel the Hunger could potentially be way overprinted compared to these cards. Now, that being said, if it were to happen, it would be a good problem, in my opinion. What do I mean by that? Well, because the tokenomics are set up in a much better way, or the tokenomics of the ecosystem are much healthier now, if we were to actually sell out of the presale, I mean, we're talking about 4.4 billion DEC worth of demand coming in. That would require us to at least mint another 1 billion DEC, potentially burn tens of millions, who knows, maybe even like 100 million SPS, create a lot of positive upward momentum for the rest of the ecosystem, specifically SPS, right? But it would create a lot of cards. Now, the hope is that those cards would be enough to satisfy the current player base and hopefully a growing player base. But just to put it in context, that is what I wanted to share with you, right? Last one that we'll check, you can see Ulfgar the Blighted here only has 2,200. And this is, again, this is a voucher promo card, which is currently out of print. But just to give you context on where the legendary card will be. Now, if we only print half, right? If we only sell half of the entire thing, that would get us close to Mantaroth. So again, there's like pros and cons to all of this. Obviously, if stuff doesn't sell, it's not great. But at the same time, you know, it would create scarcity in cards where we see things like Grimbar Doomsmith and Mantaroth actually being A, good for the meta, and B, scarce enough that like people want and need them, and it keeps the value high. So that's all I really have for you guys in this video. Just wanted to share some of those numbers, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.